What's up, y'all? You're listening to the Eagles post-game report. I'm Alex Miller, joined always by Robert Cessna. Cease, to no surprise, Texas A&M and Arkansas found themselves in a nail-biter late, and, it was the Aggies that came out on top in the final Southwest Classic here at A&T Stadium.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I thought it was going to be a high-scoring game. Still thought it might be close after the first quarter, but then the defenses took over, and a really good game. I got to give A&M credit for making the plays. I think, it boiled down to Arkansas made more mistakes. That's my thought, and A&M played a smarter game. I thought this was going to be a big game with A&M away from home. Florida wasn't quite as good enough, I feel, to give A&M a good test, but I thought Arkansas did, and the fact that Arkansas jumped to the lead, I think this is what is Elko call a building block. So I think this is a good building block for them.
Well, A&M had to really overcome some offensive struggles in the middle of the game, and it's funny. Elko said after the game, he thinks the story should be how A&M overcame those things, not how they struggled. In the end, that's what we're going to remember. But it was kind of interesting how A&M just could not get anything going, whether it was passing or running in the middle two quarters. Marcel Reed had a stretch there where he was like 2 of 10. He started 4 of 6. He actually completed 4 straight passes in the end of the third and into the fourth quarters. But, Le'Veon Moss was kind of nicked up there in the middle of the game. He comes into the fourth quarter and just ramrods right through the Razorback defense and gets A&M what they needed to win.
I think we're seeing through college football, there's such a fine line sometimes between winning and losing. I think A&M's offensive line, they've had some injuries, people evening out of this game a little bit. And then, they've ran the ball well, but suddenly, they're down to a third string center, or at least, they're not using the same cohesive players game after game. And I think we saw that Arkansas just shut down the run. And any team, once you shut down your run, you got problems. But A&M didn't compound that by making mistakes, because if Arkansas doesn't make mistakes, they win this game. But you're right, that offense is going to be a little bit concerning moving forward, because everybody's going to see what Arkansas did for the first 3 quarters and copy that.
Well, it certainly looked like Arkansas's offense was really going to have a chance to take it to A&M. I'm sure Bobby Petrino had some extra motivation going against the Aggies today, but hey, credit to the A&M defense. They really figured out how to slow down Taylon Green, and they brought heat all night and culminated with that last fumble in the fourth quarter to win it.
Yeah, when you look, the problem with Green is he's completing his passes for about 55%. These days, that's going to get you beat in a lot of college football games. You got to be better. Even though he's such a great athlete, he doesn't have that touch. He had one possession where he threw a touchdown at the end, an interception at the end of the first half. He should have thrown 2 interceptions before that. So, you got to take the good with the bad, but A&M kept bringing pressure. That's what you do, and I feel he cracked. And that, once again, what is A&M's strength? The defensive line. A little bit worried, I think a lot of people were, and I was wondering if they were just good as that after 2 games, but now 2 more games later, the best part of this team is still that defensive line.
I'm wrapping up my sidebar right now. Unsung hero for the Aggies today, punter Tyler White, okay? He averaged 43 yards a kick. That was net. Arkansas didn't return a single punt the whole game. Where A&M was really struggling to get things going, they really controlled field position for the most part. Arkansas' starting drive spot was about their own 18. A&M's was their own 34. He had 7 punts of his 9 inside the 20. Only one of them went for a touchback. In a game where, every yard mattered, it seemed like A&M was winning the field position battle, and it kind of helped them there toward the end.
At the end, they won the special teams when it didn't look like that would be the case when Arkansas got the fake punt first down, going in to get the touchdown. But then what happened is they screw up the fake field goal. They don't make that. And then let's not forget, A&M, Arkansas had a nice one, get them out at the 1-yard line, and they couldn't stop them. So special teams, and I knew this, I said special teams would be big coming in too, because A&M was bad on special teams last week. They hadn't done that in the first 2 games. But you're right, and I had to laugh to chuckle myself because White's first punt was low liner, maybe his worst one of the year, maybe only high 30s or whatever. And I go, and then he boomed everyone after that. But remember, he's only a redshirt freshman too. But how about that? We're saying that special teams was big, and Randy Bullock didn't hit a field goal.
Randy
how about
Bond?
that? Him too. Randy Bullock. People remember Bullock used to be a place kicker, but A&M. I'm old.
Something about A&M kickers named Randy, right? But hey, you're going to be working on your grades here in a little bit. What are maybe some initial impressions of how you're going to grade A&M's overall performance today?
Well, obviously, we touched on it. You got the defense, man. Defense did so much. Even though they gave up the one big play, they can't, whatever. Offense, got to do better, and you got to score points. When a 21-17 game, you can say the defense was good, and it was. But these days, when you play these football games, I think you got to be able to score about 28 points. And I know the Ole Miss game wasn't that way. Defense dictated that. You just never know how a game's going to go. But the bottom line is they found a way to beat Arkansas again. If you're a teacher, it's like you have a lot of these quizzes. You're going to say, oh, you should have done better. You should have done better. You should have done better. Then you got the test. You got an A. And you go, holy cow, maybe you aren't that bad.
Well, you kind of nailed it. It seems just like Arkansas is a team that A&M's just had to try and figure out how to win year after year after year, and they do it again. Look, it wasn't pretty. It was pretty ugly at times, let's be honest. But should A&M feel okay about itself going into next week's game at Missouri? Obviously a huge one. Missouri's a fringe top 10 team. They had a bye week this week. It's going to be on prime time at Kyle Field.
And two good things which we didn't touch on because no really big injuries. I mean, they've had a lot of injuries the first few games, and this was a hard-hitting game. Mm-hmm. And other than a couple of bumps and bruises, it didn't look like they had anything. So I think they take a lot of momentum into Kyle Field next week at 11 a.m.
Well, that's a little bit around Cease's wake-up call, but he'll hopefully be there after he goes to Kearney's at 9 a.m. Don't go too crazy in the morning, but hey, that's going to do it for us here from AT&T Stadium. Be sure to check theeagle.com for all of our coverage from today's game. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.